blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt.
This is a big moment for me. These first few seconds of my first video could totally make or break a viewer's opinion. If it all goes well, they may be willing to finish the video. If it goes very well, they may be willing to come back for more. Alternatively, if something goes wrong, their opinion of me will be permanently marred by this unfortunate first impression. So casual, come off as normal. Just be relaxed, but not slow. Intelligent, but not obnoxious. You know, just be normal. Hey, my name is Casual, no relation to Frank. Oh, what is that off in the distance? Is that a 9/11 joke in poor taste? Oh no, it's gonna hit one of those two similar towers. More than similar. Sisters. Maybe even twin... God, why the fuck did I even put those there? Well, there goes half my viewers. Just fucking great. To the 3.5 of you left, I suggest we move on. Just last year, a friend opened my eyes to a great deal of music. Since then, my taste has become more and more diverse. Currently, Milo is my favorite artist. As of late, I've been bumping King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's latest album, Paper Mache Dream Balloon, and Sophie's release, Product. As I type this, I am on my maiden voyage through Aphex Twin's selected ambient works 85 through 92. I'm telling you this not to sound elitist and douchey, but to show you that I have an open mind. I play Ultimate Frisbee with my friends, and I play ping pong with my friends and family. I also watch a decent amount of anime movies. Lastly, I spend far too much time on a 14-year-old game. Anyway, that's me in a nutshell. Also, I like what these guys have done, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so please ignore my blatant plagiarism and lack of unique artistic style. This is my first video, so my influences may be a little apparent. One Punch Man, from the mind of manga artist One, is loved by everybody, from anime club members to neckbeards. Though usually very polarized, the majority of the anime community seems to enjoy watch Saitama take out evil with one devastating blow. One Punch Man has gained so much popularity that it sits in the 16th slot of IMDb's top TV shows. Additionally, it holds the 10th slot on my anime list's rankings. One Punch Man is the story of Saitama, a 25-year-old man who decides to become a hero after saving a child from an underwear-clad crab monster. By following a strenuous training regimen, our protagonist gains the ability to kill any opponent with a single strike. Unfortunately, this lack of challenge causes him to become jaded. Saitama gains companionship in his cyborg sidekick, Genos, who he works with to thwart evil. And that's about it. But it works. One Punch Man isn't a serious show about two heroes, an egg-headed dude and a badass cyborg, whose friendship blossoms over their shared experiences and lost friends on the blood-soaked battlefield. It's silly, with no real character development or long-lasting storylines, making each episode enjoyable to watch on its own. Though I think this was just a byproduct of the show's lighthearted approach to humor and storytelling, it means that people are more likely to get hooked after seeing any one episode, a contributing factor to One Punch Man's huge popularity. Unfortunately, this one-show, 124-minute story format isn't flawless. No real long-term conflicts are established, with a problem found and solved each episode. The final storyline attempts to deliver a fleshed-out and fulfilling end to the season by lasting 3 episodes, and though this is the most screen time any storyline receives within the 12-episode series, the conclusion still feels abrupt, most likely because the crisis that was averted was introduced only 2 episodes before. One Punch Man is self-aware, meaning that it doesn't take itself too seriously. Remember that lighthearted approach to humor and story I mentioned earlier? This attitude is what gives One Punch Man its greatest strength, the sheer absurdity of the show. A well-known absurdist, Albert Camus, said, "Aujourd'hui est Morty un peut être her." Today Mom died, or maybe yesterday, I do not know. I received a telegram from the asylum. Mother died. Funeral tomorrow. Best regards. It does not mean anything. Maybe it was... Wow, that was like super depressing, and it also had nothing to do with what I'm typing about. Maybe I shouldn't have picked that quote for the sole purpose of making that shitty Rick and Morty joke. I am truly sorry about that. Anyway, the absurd is basically defined and measured by how far a situation is from what you were expecting. For example, flipping a coin and continuing to get heads. Or an avid anime viewer who is also a functioning member in society. No? Not the right crowd? I should have known better. By placing deadpan strongman Saitama in a world filled with quirky heroes and villains, well, anything can happen. One Punch Man is a simple show with a simple plot and simple characters. It really doesn't matter though. What makes One Punch Man great isn't its storylines. They only serve as a backdrop. The real purpose of the show is to force Saitama to fight his way through pure absurdity. It's honestly like what would happen if Ross from Senyu got his own show. Look at him go. What a cutie. Anyway, these shorter storylines actually play into One Punch Man's strengths. The fact that each episode contains a new storyline means that the pace has to be quick and include the introduction of new characters, good and evil, and a new conflict or reversal. This works perfectly with the absurd nature of the show, whose main sense of humor draws from how odd everything is. Basically, the format of the show allows for it to more naturally slip in its best quality. All the fighting sequences were clear and well choreographed. Though the protagonist kills in a single hit, the show is paced nicely, meaning that it doesn't lose its badassness over time. Additionally, there are a whole lot of nifty side characters, good and evil, who we get to see battle. It's common for protagonists, or more exactly, cool guy badass protagonists, to be inhumanly perfect. Look at Kirito from Sword Art Online or Tatsuya from The Irregular at Magic High School. Though these two have a great deal of appeal to the preteen male demographic, Saitama is presented in a totally different light. When he's not saving the Earth with a single blow, he's out grocery shopping. Saitama is human, making him almost universally relatable. Spoilers. To take a break to roast on SAO, I point to episode 8 of One Punch Man and episode 2 of Sword Art Online. In both situations, the protagonist decides to slander his own name in an attempt to help others. When Saitama does it, the scene is genuinely touching, leaving the viewer with the thought, gee, Saitama sure is a swell chap. Alternatively, when Kirito does it, it just seems out of character. At this point in time, episode 2 to be exact, we know very little about Kirito's character, making his drastic actions seem out of place. If this scene had been presented differently, SAO could have given its viewers more than just a one-dimensional cookie-cutter fighting machine protagonist to get behind by using a touching sacrifice to bolster Kirito's character from a moral standpoint. Anyway, besides Saitama's goofy personality, he also has a goofy character design. This allows him to have a unique look, differentiating himself from the droves of the unmemorable anime protagonists. While on the topic of Saitama, I would like to introduce you to his real-life equivalent, Mas Oyama, born 1923. Ikin Hitsatsu is a term used in traditional karate, meaning to annihilate in one blow. Oyama built off this concept, creating his own version of the phrase, one strike, certain death. Mas Oyama embraced this idea fully and even implemented it within his fighting style, attempting to kill his opponent with a single blow. Oh, and also, did I mention that he fought bulls with his bare hands? Over the 52 battles he fought, 3 ended after a single punch to the head of a fully grown bull. Mas Oyama also lived in the mountains, meditated under a freezing waterfall, and punched trees, you know, the regular routine for a complete badass. These images are from one of the sites I use for information. If you want to learn more about Mas Oyama, check it out. The author's attitude makes it a very enjoyable read. One Punch Man is not a masterpiece. It's a quirky series built around a solid concept enhanced with colorful characters and stellar fighting sequences. I give One Punch Man
15.5 rapples!
Or in other words, a strong 8 to a light 9. Well, that's the end. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a good time.